stressful. Imagine, sometimes it's feeling like there's only 2 days in the week. Yesterday was Monday, and look at them Friday afternoon. So hear that. Do you have a talent or skill that you can turn into a business idea? Well, don't sleep on you, my youth. Get your business started today. The Youth Economy Agency will guide you. Provide funding. Yes, sister. Provide funding. Plus training to run your business profitably. Yo, go online now to start living the St. Lucian dream. Just one click and boom, you're in business.
Good afternoon, St. Lucia, and welcome to Youth Unplugged right here on Radio Caribbean International RCI 101.1 FM. I am your host, Miguel Fevrier, here with you for another Thursday afternoon to highlight the young people in our St. Lucian society who are making strides in the various fields of endeavor, whether it be sports, academics, business, the arts, and otherwise. We are there to highlight their successes. Today we're talking about a movement that's growing fast around the world. In fact, it has grown significantly, and right here at home, that's esports. And for many young people, gaming is more than just a pastime. It's becoming a career path, a way to connect, and even a gateway into tourism and global opportunities. Joining me this afternoon is a man who has been at the center of this movement for over a decade. He's the president and director of Most Maniacal Gaming St. Lucia Esports, the driving force behind the St. Lucia National Esports team, and he also represents our islands on global platforms like WESCO, PAMESCO, and the Caribbean Esports Federation Alliance. Please welcome to the show, folks, Mr. Valdez Franklin, also known as the Most Maniacal. Valdez, welcome to Youth Unplugged.
Thank you very much, Miguel. That was such a lovely introduction. Let me tell you, I should have just come like a placard.
Yeah, there you go. So Valdez, many young people know you as the Most Maniacal,
yes, the most
in the gaming esports world.
Yeah.
How did your journey into gaming and esports begin? And tell us about it. What first inspired you to take it seriously?
Okay. Let's see. We have to always, like I said, I love to talk about the foundation. For you to have a stable or bright future, you have to have a very stable foundation. First and foremost, I like to give the credence to my uncles, who were basically very detrimental in terms of my development and my patriotism. Let's say, for instance, Borlog, Uncle Ignatius Jr., Borlog being the St. Lucia national football hero, Ignatius being the then Minister of Agriculture, then Minister of Infrastructure. So they always had that level of patriotism embedded in me. My father was a cricketer. Everybody would talk about my father, Butcher. And, so it just grew up to just be very competitive and combative. But talking about legendary footballer athletes, I have to give shout out to Jerry Charles of Laclery. Jerry was my next door neighbor, and he's my uncle. Jerry is my uncle. I always call him uncle because he was with my aunts for a while, and we grew up in Laclery. So I got all that from him. He used to have guys coming and play by him, and I used to play games. But then it kind of got more intensified after like growing up in school. Your outlet is for you to find something to do with your spare time. Despite I playing football, basketball, all kind of sorts of sports, I found it was very competitive to go and play a game against my friends in school. And from Korean Secondary, I started to do esports in Form 3 with Miss Maraj, under the tutelage of Miss Maraj.
Ashanti, is it?
No, that's Felicity Maraj.
Oh, Felicity, yeah.
The music teacher.
Yeah.
So she saw the need for us to do it every summer, and then it went from every summer to every term. So my basis started at school, and it was an outlet for us to behave ourselves. We were not supremely troublesome children, but when you have way too much talent and you don't have no outlet to utilize it. So she found a need there during the school period when they have nothing to do, come to a music room and come with the consoles until it went beyond her music room.
I have a confession that growing up in the 90s, and of course video game culture was not as we know it now in terms of
there's a lot of stigma to it.
Stigma. But I didn't confirm. I didn't confirm because get to year 3, our third year, I was at St. Mary's at that time, and Saturday's confirmation classes, there were 3 of us in confirmation. We used to go at my friend Jem in the CDC, and we'd play video game Street Fighter. All the Street Fighter 2, all day long on Super Nintendo. I go play basketball in the gardens later on. So.
Yeah, you see, talking about Street Fighter, back in the day, the culture was more intensified than here right now. Right now, everybody, the advent of technology and is internet, everybody plays home.
At home,
So we're trying to encourage people to still come out and participate. Yeah, you meet people globally on the digital platform, but it's good. What we had back in the day is when you see Street Fighter 2. I remember when they had Super Street Fighter 2, and then that guys who would come with the cartridge in their pocket, them big baggy jeans, and how much cartridges in their pants to come play game at friends' home.
And that, I think that's what's probably even missing from our youth culture today, because you no longer have the assembling of
people
to play games.
Yeah.
All right, that's fine. So what first inspired you to take it seriously, but not just for fun, but as a career and a platform for others?
When I left secondary school, it was still kind of, we started to do tournaments in St. Lucia because, like I said, it was already something embedded in me. So I went with the guys, the lovely guys. We actually had a conference, not a conference, actually I interviewed here in our time when we first started to do local tournaments with the Sauce Crew. That is Donley, John, K1, Lord, and Charlotte, Shitoli, sorry. And then we just started to grow. Scally.p was with us at the time, Kendall Eugene. So we just started to grow from there, doing it locally. And then it's when I left St. Lucia and I went to St. Martin, the Video X Games in St. Martin. Because that was my first time. I always wanted to compete, so I took my own funds and I went up to St. Martin. And we saw how tremendous it was over in St. Martin. You know, St. Martin being a very small island, they primarily focus on tourism. More than anything else, they don't really have the natural resources like St. Lucia. But what we found is that we found a lot of Caribbean people going there, and a lot of Caribbeans shared the same vision. So it was the birth of esports came from the lips of majority of our Caribbean mates. I'll give big shout outs to Rolando Bryson for that. And they have a name that a lot of people like to mention, but I'll still give credits to him. Isaiah Triforce Johnson, he was at the time one of the biggest tournament organizers in America, and he came over to help. So the whole esports started from us in the Caribbean region, more or less, and then we were just focused and fixated on brotherhood, unity. That was the most beautiful thing, because we as gamers, we don't see us as St. Lucians as much as we compete against each other. We don't see us as St. Lucians. We see ourselves as one Caribbean unity.
All right. And I remember you mentioned names Donnelly and K1. Now, K1 actually was my next door neighbor. We grew up well. My dad lived in Masad Casabah. We grew up right next to each other. So we go way back.
Yeah.
And I remember you guys had this show on Choice TV. It was Game of Vibe. Now, I say a bunch of nerds, video game nerds, because at the time you didn't think of all the advancement and the opportunities when esports. So, okay, first talking about gaming. Yes, I love games. I'm a collector as well, but I wasn't so into it to go watch the games every week. And then look at how it has evolved. Yeah, you know. And we go back to one of my favorite movies as kids. Guess which one it was? It features a very popular video game, the best Mario game ever. No, the best Mario game ever.
Best Mario game ever. Favorite Mario video game movie as a child.
Yeah, you remember The Wiz?
Yeah.
Movie The Wiz. That's
the derivative of Mario.
Mario 3. In fact, the movie was The Wiz. It was about this young boy who was gifted. He could play video games.
Oh yes, I remember
Mario, right?
Yeah.
So this is one of the first realizations that we had that video games is actually outside of St. Lucia. It's actually a bigger thing than what we
a huge global market. Right. And the funny thing is we already tied with it for many years.
Yeah. Even one of the excuses I was made when I was at college, our PE teacher, they organized a day for us to bring our video games and for us to play and have a competition. And his excuse was that, it builds your reflexes,
cognitive senses,
and all cognitive functions and everything. And we young, we say we figure it's BS for lack of a better term, but it's an excuse.
Okay, let me just shoot straight with you. I remember back in the day, they say the video games will mash up TVs. It'll make your eyes go bad. I could realize we and you in the same age group. Yeah. Do you wear glasses? Do I wear glasses? Do we constantly wear glasses compared to the Coke bottle lens we used to see our fathers and our grandfathers and everybody wore? Back in the day when they didn't have no TV.
Epilepsy is a real thing, though.
Epilepsy is a real thing,
Yeah, that's I think that was one of the biggest concerns. That's why the games needed to have the warnings on them.
With the epilepsy, it's anything can trigger it. I even get to know that if you dairy or some parts of your diet can trigger it.
Photosensitivity is very common.
I do have a friend who actually used to suffer from that. And I remember the flashing lights. Right now, he has 4K monitors at his own playing game. And he doesn't even. I am asking you. I can't see his name on screen. But I will ask him, yo, X, Y, and Z. Like, how you have that for? You don't have that episodes like the see, in the last. He had one of those.
Been something else. Yeah. I might do some photosensitivity myself. Okay. Looking back, what was the biggest challenge you faced in building your career in esports as it is now?
Okay. I would like to give a big honorable mention to Wayne Whitfield and Ramon Esper. These two was the driving force. Again, I have a strong building block of support back in the day. Wayne taught me the business of marketing, the business of selling my brand and creating a brand. And Ramon was the first one to ever believe in the endeavor and sponsor it. That's Ramon of Blue Waters.
Yeah, Ramon, yeah.
So, not a sponsored plugin, but
shout out to Ramon.
Shout out to Ramon. And the issue we had is that the stigma. We had to learn how to hurdle over stigmas. We have a lot of players who, because their mom came and speak to me, and we had that very open conversation, and my passion came through my words, that they felt comfortable. Even if I was paying the tickets for the guys to go and play, they'll be like, nah, I'll take him from his school. And I'm happy to see Luke Henry is a good model citizen. Ulrich Jackson is a good model citizen. Daniel and all the others that actually conform to playing game or a pursuit of excellence in game. So it had, but then it was easier with consistency, and it was easier with the consistency that yield rewards and results.
All right. Now, let's go to the development of esports in St. Lucia. And esports obviously would fall under the general category of alternative sports because it's essentially, as the name suggests, alternative to what we know as traditional sports, basketball, football, these kick a ball around, hit a ball around.
Yeah.
You've been working in this space for over a decade. How has the esports scene in St. Lucia changed since you started?
Okay. I think it's more accepted. A lot of people was embarrassed to be like they're gamers, but we have people who actually embrace their gamers. We see much more TikTok influencers, gaming influencers on TikTok who actually just have 14K likes if the content, so that means they're out there. The Maniacal brand, it came because the name Maniacal was when I went to, in 2009 or 10, I went to the Ministry of Sports. And they had one particular person that was responsible for youth development. And that officer said to me, that's crazy. You come to me with a proposal at gaming tournament, that don't make no sense. And my son have people come on his own and play game all the time. Why don't you just go in the living room and play game? So when I walked out of that meeting...
That was said to you?
That was said to me. That was said to me. So when I walked out of that meeting, I stopped and again, Wayne. So I spoke to Wayne because Wayne is guiding me all along the way. Mr. Whitfield. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
A lot of love for you, my boy.
Listen, Wayne, I wouldn't be in this thing if not for Wayne.
For Wayne,
He
yeah.
his job.
Wayne was the one. Wasn't for him. I think I probably would just be doing tournaments and whatnot. So I spoke with him, and then he called me over and told me let's have a conversation. I spoke with him, and then he decided to give me Gamer Vibe. He told me I'll give you a 5-minute segment on choice. Come and do an audition. Well, he told me come and have a conversation with, it was at the time Superman, not Cupida, was it Onika and someone else. And what's her name at Coca-Cola right now? That brand manager at Coca-Cola.
I remember.
I
remember.
Yeah, so she was the one at the time, and then we did that thing, and then afterwards Wayne calls me and tell me, so I give you a job, you get the job, eh? I said, what job? I said, but you tell me come and have a conversation. If I was sponsoring you or sponsoring, he might tell me, nah, one way to tackle that is if you go on TV and you have the personality to be on TV. So I started with Gamer Vibe, but because I was so camera shy, you see I'm talking to you now. Back in the day, oh boy, I would sweat, I would panic. Yeah, so it started from there, and then I just decided, you know what, let me call it Maniacal. Wayne said you're the craziest person. You're the most maniacal. So when I started to do it, I went into a shell and I tried to act like a regular person. It's like, why are you acting like that? That's not your character. Your character is maniacal. It's crazy. You have energy. You bring it out. So bring that to the forefront. And then I just became the most maniacal. And I made most maniacal gaming.
Right. It'll be remiss of me not to just take this moment to pause and give some love to Wayne. Wayne, rest in peace, because you say that there and the chills are coming because Wayne, I would not be in the media if Wayne did not give me my first job. And Wayne always said, I believe in giving people second chances. You need to.
What's the name of the movie you said you mentioned earlier?
The Wiz.
The Wiz. Back in the day, they had a legend of a very good gamer from college. His name was The Wiz.
Was it Brandon Hollingsworth?
No.
Okay.
You want to know who The Wiz was in all the cabinets on the show? Say?
Who was that?
Wayne Whitfield.
Wayne Whitfield. Oh, really?
Wayne Whitfield
I
was
didn't
The
even know
Wiz.
that. We never told you about that part.
Yeah, so I tell you just how close I was with him. That's why I tell you, I can tell you about him. He was The Wiz. All in the cabinets, Metal Slug, Golden Axe, The Wiz was Wayne.
And I'd like to add this again, especially as we're dealing with Youth Unplugged.
Yeah.
Wayne has always believed in allowing young people to
yeah.
be them, change their narrative, write their narrative, because he's always said so. This is the future.
Visionary. Then.
Yeah, he was a visionary. So shout out to Wayne, shout out to Anya and the boys, and Choice TV of course as well. Let's go to the structural part of it. What role as a ministry? Let's go back into that. We did mention the pushback that you got from when you proposed it. What role as the Ministry of Sports and Education played in helping to legitimize and grow esports locally?
Well, at the time, I'll say favorable mention to Fortunio Belrose. I remember a secondary meeting. After coming out of that meeting again, if trying and the structures, she was PS at the time, and she saw me in the elevator, and she remembered from my proposal, and she said, "Hey, where you going, Sauce Cruise?" So I said, like, you know, about disappointment. I was like, "I'm going back. Where you working?" I said, "I work at the post office." And she's like, "Oh, what you doing?" I said, "I'm a postal executive." She said, "Yeah." So why so sad? I say, "Well, you know, I come to have a meeting." By the time there, I didn't know Miss Belrose was I knew her for Olympics. So she said, "Come on, let's go upstairs." And I went to her office, and then boom, I got running from there, Miss Belrose. And then from Miss Belrose to Mr. Andy George. I really love Dr. George. Dr. George was really a beautiful person to work with. Anthony George, yes, sorry. And he was such a beautiful person. He really put a lot of emphasis on the youth.
Yes.
So people like Juju, I saw Juju was a little girl with Twatini coming upstairs. Them children was in the halls of the ministry during the summer.
And shout out, Juju just won her race.
Yeah,
big up my girl, big up my girl.
Because you ever see, like, you watch somebody and you just say, boy, you see greatness, and then they justify your belief in them or they faith in them.
Yeah.
That girl, man, let me tell you, there's nothing by that girl. If you talk about Juju, I fight it if you're in the street.
Let me big up Twatini and big up Juju.
Yeah, one time, Mr. Modest, big up you.
Yeah.
And then we say, fast forward, we've added structure with Patrick Maffrey. Patrick Maffrey helped us with our big up Pato. Pato helped us with our constitution. Pato actually helped create the Caribbean Esports Alliance. The first. He was one of our senior advisors to the Caribbean Esports Alliance. Pato helped unite the Caribbean between Santiago, Jamaica, Barbados, Guyana, St. Lucia, Grenada, Dominica. All these islands was converged in a meeting under Mr. Maffrey's tutelage, and Mr. Maffrey helped create the structure which is the Caribbean, now the Caribbean Esports Federation Alliance. So we got a lot of I would say mentorship from the ministry in terms of support, and Miss Wilfred was sending us out. Miss Wilfred was actually, when they sent something for a conference for me, Miss Wilfred used to ensure that I get all the necessary documents, all the necessary expenses was covered, so that we have a seat at the table. And because of Miss Wilfred, we have a seat at the table. I'm part of the Pan American Esports Coalition. I'm part of the World Esports Consortium. I'm part of the Global Esports. Very soon to be inducted into the International Esports Federation. Now, I was invited to come to Saudi Arabia. I was invited to come to Saudi Arabia for the Esports World Cup. However, the funding to go to the Esports World Cup was because of my affiliation in the organization. It came up to $4,000 just to be part and obviously sit at on converge with my peers. To see where we are right now, esports locally, I would never see the need for me to try and get that funds to go just to rub shoulders and look like a big shot, because I still believe that there's a lot of groundwork that needed to be done here. Our players, an honorable mention to Eden. He's really been talked about in the Caribbean. Mr. Latcher, Eden Latcher. He's of a legendary player, Ron Latcher.
Ronnie.
Oh, is it? Yeah,
Ronnie, I'm at college, man.
Yeah, man. So that goes to show you. These boys are transcending generations.
All right. So we shall segue right into our last question before we take a quick break and come back. Can you tell us more about the national esports team and the athletes that you've helped nurture?
Okay, so the national esports team was something that was conceptualized under Dr. Anthony George, because he saw the need for us to empower gamers just the same way as any other athlete. So it really started to, I would like snowball further with him. So we established that. We took some pictures. He got the guys the national uniforms. He clothed us in national attire. So we had a picture, old picture, and wish I could have pulled it up. We had an old picture of us going to Barbados, and all of us national Olympics. I'm sure. So we started from there. The team now is because of the COVID, the novel COVID-19. You found that a lot of what we were doing had to take a step back because of the financial crisis that we were facing, and there was no clear. After the first year, it was like, all right, cool. Then the second year was like, ooh. Then the third year was like, well, we try to get some level of normalcy, so we can't really do nothing much. But we're now preparing to go. Some of the players that I would like to mention, like I said, Bradley Bailey. Bradley was called the Terrible One. He's born on a terrible street, on a mystic night. So he's a mystic terrible one. That's his name. And we have Ulrich. Yeah, we have Ulrich, and we have so much more names. We have Carrot, we have Jovan. We actually have a team going to Barbados tomorrow to play to compete against Barbados and Trinidad's best match players. So we have Jovan, Ron, Cecil, and Joshua. These guys are going to represent us. We had a tournament in April, Salty Smash Champions, where the same people came to St. Lucia. We came fourth. We came fourth, fifth, and sixth respectively. And we also had the Bajans taking first and second, and Trinidad coming third. But the guys did exceptionally well, given that they had a lot of drawbacks to the tournament. So we're wishing them the best of luck. Right now, I want to create more than just fighting games. Primarily, we just fighting games players. So right now, I want to try and focus on the development of the motorsports scene. We have the guys from Bonte who's been trying to pull together how we're going to structure it, which is Nai. Big up Nai, Sean Storm, and all the others up there. Carl too, I cry. And we also like to see big shots the team Identify. Now, most maniacal, I was saying, most maniacal existed to show people that it's possible. Most maniacal, the moniker most maniacal stands for. Our vision is we make the unthinkable a reality. All right. Now, since with the new esports, they have a few that are actually out there, but not as organized as Identify. So I want to give them a big shout out. Team Identify, they did a very lovely setup at Octane, but these guys were part of us, and they went and you don't understand the scene by what happens. So you see, like just like Venom, Carnage is born. You understand where I'm coming from? So that is what we want. We want that ripple effect. We had in before, but then not a lot of people share the same passions like Valdez. You know, I trying to revive the Beaufort scene, but Beaufort and Soufre had a scene, so we're trying to see what could happen from there.
Right. Well, I don't think we'll take the break at this point because the conversation is so. We have other questions to ask you, but let me just take it a bit. We have say good afternoon to Maria Bonaparte, who says she's listening, and Owen Elvin, he said, big up to Most Maniacal Gaming. Valdez's company has given me the greatest international esports experiences I've had in my life. He has sent me to St. Martin twice. So big up you, Valdez.
Big up the great gal them.
Well, let's speak to the opportunities for the youth. A lot of young people play games for fun. And old people like me.
Yeah.
What's the difference between being a casual gamer and an e-athlete?
All right, a casual gamer is like probably you. You probably have it at your home. When you come home, you want to take a little, you play your game. You will still play it at a particular level, but you don't take time to sit down and train. Just like football and rugby, because I'm a national rugby player too. Just like football and rugby.
Oh, of course, Uncle Jerry.
if Uncle Jerry. If what you find is that you have to apply more time to train and study than the regular conventional sport. A sport is maybe like an hour training and you got your home. But with esports, you have to train by yourself.
The length of the game.
Yeah, you have to train for like about an hour, 2 hours, learning tech, learning different strategies, learning frame data. Frame data is basically how fast I press a button or how fast I can react to certain things with punishes. So everything, yeah. So you have to make sure your combos are on point. You don't drop the combos, bro. Don't never drop your combos. You understand where I'm from?
I'm a Ken guy.
You're a Ken guy. But I'm just saying, like, from the Street Fighter standpoint. And then after you do that now, guess what you have to do? You have to now go and fight other players to see what you've learning, and then you apply it, then you build experience. So it's a lot. It's a lot. And a lot of people who watch gaming will feel like, boy, the gamer then for this fat, upzocky, antisocial.
Finger strong.
Their finger strong. That's not even a con. That's a pro. That's not even a con.
Finger strong, their brain strong.
You understand? For the ladies.
No comment.
All right, so what we're saying is that these individuals do still have to have adequate rest. They need to know when is enough, and they need to know that, okay, a strong body equals a what?
Yeah,
a strong mind.
There's a lot of brain power being
exactly.
used.
So you can have a thin body, and you could see now, right now, even in Street Fighter 6, they have 14-year-olds that actually reached the grand finals. Blaz.
Oh.
He reached the grand finals as the first time that was unheard of.
Well, I'm still on Super Street Fighter 4.
Yeah,
just
yeah.
so you know.
They still have competitions.
I went for to do it my PS5 and my Xbox to be. I'm still on the older consoles.
Yeah.
All right. So as we continue, because we have just about 4 minutes left, and we have a CPL show right after. What kinds of career opportunities exist in the field of esports beyond just being a player?
All right, beyond a player, there's team manager. There's what I do, tournament organizer and event director. There is production. Production is a very vital component of esports. Like any traditional sports, what sells the sport? The capturing of the moments and the broadcasting of it. So we have commentators. We have, I wouldn't say in esports though, we don't have game developers. We do have game developers, yes. In esports, because the guys that actually developed Street Fighter 5 was an esport player.
Maybe even patches and certain packs.
Yeah. They have customer support in terms of that people are working call centers, just the same, and they deal with issues of the game. They have human resource management for those that are coming into the island. They have those that are responsible for events. So there's a multitude of careers that you can utilize. You, Miguel, can utilize your expertise in radio and whatnot and come and have something within esports.
How about coaching?
The coaching is definitely existent in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. How do initiatives like in the school esports program help young people find their path in this space? And what advice would you give to parents who do not yet understand esports as a real career option for their children?
All right. So what you find in the inter-district esports initiative that we're working at with the Ministry of Sports and Innovation, the department, big up Ms. Miles there. Trying to identify those who have the core skills and those who are probably interested. Now, but we want to identify those who have the skills. Those who have the skills may be more in tune to becoming a little bit more better at esports. So you find that when you identify them, you are now teaching the right principles and practices to help further nourish this skill. We see a lot of people, and especially in my eyes, I see a lot of people that have skill, but because they didn't have somebody like a big brother figure or somebody a driving vessel to drive them, their skill diminish, even if it is traditional sports. So what we're trying to do is identify them and bring them on to the maniacal brand, because we have evidence and we have proven that those we do identify as great has become great in the Caribbean and the world.
All right. With 2 minutes left, that may have answered the question, but I'll still ask it anyway. What if you had the air of government, schools, and investors right now? What would you ask for to help take esports to the next level?
Well, I want to say, assist the faculties. Don't just depend on Valdez. Valdez is but one man. But if the faculties come out, I will always lend my assistance with them, my expertise. My team is always ready. We have something with the Sports Council, the Youth Center, the South Council, and we also have something with Babonu and also Compre. So assist the faculty. When someone comes to you and they want to, esports is a big thing. If you come to you, give them the support. I will provide my technical support and obviously my expertise to help grow it, because we are stronger together and we are divided.
We do have good diplomatic relationship with Japan, so that's a good market for esports for gaming. But there's so many questions I need to ask. Unfortunately, we only have half an hour. Time would not permit. Omar Esba says invest in a set location and equipment. But this has been a very insightful conversation with you, Valdez Franklin.
Well, we've been trying, eh?
The most maniacal. You've been trying.
You've
been a true pioneer of esports on St. Lucia and the wider Caribbean, from building opportunities for young gamers to shaping esports education and putting St. Lucia on the global stage. Your work shows how powerful this industry can be for our youth and for the future of the island.
Thank you,
Now,
sir.
to all our listeners, remember, your passion can be your purpose, and whether it's gaming, sports, the arts, or any other path, with hard work and the right opportunities, you can make it happen. That was all for today's edition of Youth Unplugged. Thank you for tuning in. Remember, it was brought to you by the Youth Economy Agency, turning your hobbies into a viable business. And I'm sure that Valdez knows all too much about it, and he can appreciate and give the Youth Economy Agency a plug. So say good afternoon to all our folks over there at the Youth Economy Agency. Don't forget to join us again next week for more inspiring conversations with young movers and shakers across St. Lucia. And of course, this Sunday, I will be there, or I may not be there, but the music will be there for Golden Grooves this this cricket. There's a family fun day up in Grooves today, so
You were in everything.
Yeah, but don't
I'll be at
worry.
the family fun day.
Yeah, I will be there, but I will not, of course, will not let our listeners know. So until then, I am Miguel Fevrier saying good afternoon and be safe.